Greetings, it is I, the Harbinger of Destruction, the Dragon of the Abyss, Dreadscape Gaming. We're going to be playing American Truck Simulator today, because I did promise that we would do American Truck Simulator. Game audio is going to come up here in a second. They had a new update, they fixed up the UI, they've done a couple of quality of life changes. Apparently there's a streamer-safe radio that's in the game. I hope that is actually the case. We're going to be playing some cargo missions and stuff. I'm going to be yapping. I like to yap. Hope all of you are doing quite well. I wanted to play a yapping game today because I had a lot of stuff I wanted to talk about, and if I'm playing something like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, it's a little bit more difficult for us to do stuff of that nature. So we're gonna do freight missions. I'm gonna try to do the ones that have like the least amount of time for them. Let's offer. Are we close enough to this? No, we're super far away. We gotta do something where we can drive close enough to it for the offer. I think we can get there in 2 hours. I hope we can. Set the GPS. So, I'm doing pretty good. It's been a pretty busy-ish time. Like I've been mentioning before, there's a lot of stuff that's been happening in the background for Psycha Studios. A lot of stuff that nobody's actually seen yet, because I'm kind of a bit of a tax master, you could say. So for me, when I'm putting out projects and stuff, or I want to put out something that's brand new, I do something that's considered a revision phase, right? So I look over everything to make sure that everything is in order, because, you know, when you do stuff in the VTubing sphere, you will have people that will kind of scrutinize you under a microscope. I think this is actually here, so let's see if we can do a delivery mission, because it would make the most sense to do so. We'll take this one. I want to do the trailer one. Big jump. And this cargo is ready to be loaded. Proceed to loading area. Where's the loading area? Okay, so I'm going to go pick up the cargo over there. Give me a second. I'm going to be in third-person view for a tiny little bit here. So there's been a lot of projects, and like I was saying before, when it comes to the projects, I'm a bit of a taskmaster. If it's not ready to go, if it's not really ready in terms of the oven, I tend to let it go for a couple more revision phases. So what I was doing for the last week or so is I've been kind of getting something a bit situated that I haven't seen. It is a VTuber special, as I mentioned before. So the VTuber special has had some good strides, so to speak. Let me get into the right view here before I don't want to crash my cargo, because we want to get paid. We got to make a big amount of money. So yeah, you know, so there's been a lot of projects that have been going on in that retrospect. A lot of revisions that have been going on. So there was a VTuber live special that actually had to deal with, I could talk a little bit about it, VR chat. So when I was looking at the final product of it, I was particularly not super satisfied. Let me double check here, make sure that our OBS sound is good, because sometimes I forget whether I'm muted or not. I'm not. Okay, good. Yeah. So, that being said, when it comes to stuff of that nature, I was looking at it. I went through a final overhaul. It was not to my liking or to my standard. It was going to be done in VR chat. So I waited a couple more weeks for certain things to get situated, because I didn't like the way that the model particularly was acting in VR chat. Anybody that's ever done VR chat for YouTube or as a VTuber will obviously know and understand what I'm talking about. Why is this? Can I not turn those turn signals off? No! I don't want to decup. I think my truck is broken. So we might have to deal with these turn signals I don't know how to turn off. Anybody in chat know how to turn them off? It would be kind of nice to do that. I want to keep hearing clicky clicky for X amount of time. Because apparently this is the turn signal thing's a bit stuck. I don't know, my truck is just like damaged quite a bit. It is a bit of an annoying thing. I can't go through that area. I'm actually a pretty good driver when it comes to American Truck Simulator. I know, contrary to popular belief, when I was playing Forza Horizon. So I've been working with those particular projects to get them in order. Something else that I've been doing behind the scenes is I have been doing a little bit of, I don't know what you would say necessarily how you recall. I have been doing a little bit of talent scouting, I guess you could say, because I always like to do a bit talent scouting in regards to collabs that I would be taking on with our VTubers as well as or things of that nature. So I've been looking at a lot of indie VTuber streams, particularly. One thing in particular that I've been looking at is a lot of people who play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because although I really enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, it's become increasingly more difficult to stream Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel to various different audiences. The reason for that, and I've mentioned this before, is, and anybody who's actually streams as a VTuber for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel knows this, that VTubers have never truly been super welcomed in Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in terms of the community itself. So there are a lot of players that tend to jump into VTuber streams with the sole purpose of just like non-stop stream sniping them. Now, I particularly, the last couple of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel streams have been subjected to, not every match has been stream snipers, but there's been ones that have been dead giveaways. What didn't happen in the Dogmatic, well, it did actually yesterday in the Twitch stream, because we were playing against a player that did like a hard counter in my deck, and it was just too situational to queue in, and then they had somebody that came into the chat that stream name was Awesome Aim. Now, if your stream name is Awesome Aim, it's pretty obvious who has aim, stream snipers, so it was pretty clear to me that that person was doing... I can't turn these signals off. Why is this the case? What did I bypass? Oh, I can bypass. I got scared. Uh-oh. No. Okay. I don't like first-person view. Let's see if I can change this before I miss my exit. Okay. Trying to get these... Did I turn these off? I think that's... They changed all the control scheme for this game, too, which is a bit of a nuisance. But, yeah, so I've been looking at, like, our VTubers have been playing it. And like I mentioned before, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, there's a high potential if you're a VTuber that people are going to come into the stream to try to stream snipe. I had a Japanese player in particular, not yesterday's stream, but the one that I did on the weekend, and this was actually a rank match that they came in with Sky Strikers to try to counter, and then they kind of failed at it, but it was pretty obvious. There's actually video footage of it. Yesterday, there was a person by the name of something AIM, I forgot exactly what it was. And they particularly were stream sniping too, because it was pretty obvious based on the thing. So it's become increasingly difficult for me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And because it's become increasingly difficult to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, I've had to go and look for different ways to do it. That's why I was playing with Zen over a couple weeks back, where we did Boomer Cup, and we played with viewers and stuff of that nature. Like, I don't mind playing with viewers on stream, but I don't, like, I have special days that are particularly set aside for that, and this was one of those situations where the last couple of streams have been made trying to test out a deck. It's not a playing with viewer session, and it's been a lot of streams that, particularly Master Duel, have just been derailed from, you know, blatant stream sniping, which has kind of pissed me off, to be honest with all of you. Because, you know, if I'm just trying to, like, vibe with a game and stuff, I'm trying to test out a deck, you know, I don't want people doing their best impersonations of Maximilian Pegasus to get, like, an unfair advantage. And that's, like, the biggest pitfall when it comes to, like, streaming Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. And there's some streamers that are very good sports about it, but for me, it's just kind of annoying because it's just, like, unfair advantage. You know, I don't have that problem in any other video game that I streamed. Like, if I play Fortnite, in particular, I don't have a problem with Fortnite, because I just play Fortnite. I've never been stream sniped in Fortnite, which I think is kind of great as a community, because again, if you stream in Fortnite and you get reported and there's video evidence that you are actually stream sniping in Fortnite, you get banned from the game, and they've done it quite a bit. So that's what I love about Fortnite, because like, if you think there's something that's very sussy and you have the video evidence for it, you could do that. However, when it comes to like Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel in particular, you might have the video evidence and you can show Konami, and Konami really doesn't do anything about it. And the thing about it is, like, Konami doesn't do a lot, and I'm not, like, pooping on the company when I say this, but, like, Konami has very rarely done anything to actually address stream sniping when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. They haven't done things to make it so that streamers can, like, play the game, play rank, and not have to worry about, you know, people pulling Maximilian Pegasus. Now, yeah, I could do something on OBS where I could set it for like a big stream delay and then have it set for like a 2-hour stream delay, right? Or not 2 hours, excuse me, 2-minute stream delay. I was thinking that this is a 2-hour stream and 2 hours obviously there. But like I could stream, you know, set a stream delay of 2 minutes, but then the problem is like when I'm reading chat and when chat's chatting with me, I would not be able to tell. There would be such a large delay that then it becomes like a cognitive breakdown, which then would turn viewers and chatters away, right? Like, one of the things I did recently for the channel, because I've noticed that I've had like a lot of rotten apples that have been coming in lately, so I had to put on the you can't chat in the stream unless you've been subscribed to the channel for 5 minutes. Because I'm pretty sure anybody that really is chatting anyway, that wants to chat on any of my streams, is somebody that's already usually subscribed to me. So I think it's kind of fair to put it just at 5 minutes. If somebody doesn't want to, like, subscribe to chat, that's on them, right? So that's why, like, now moving forward with my YouTube streams and stuff, I've put it so that people can only really chat if you're actually subscribed to the channel for 5 minutes or longer, just to kind of keep in the reins. Because, like I said, lately streaming, and particularly I've been on Twitch a little bit more than I've been on YouTube, because I've kind of been slowing down on YouTube, because I kind of prefer, for the most part, the vibe on Twitch lately, even though there's obviously contentions to that. But the vibe is a little bit different. So, a lot of stuff that's been going on. You know, I was watching, like I said before, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel streams to see if I could find, like, other VTubers that'd be interested in playing, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel and collabing and stuff. So I went, ironically, this is why I'm telling this story right now. I went into a stream yesterday of somebody that was streaming of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and they were doing something like I guess they were trying to say that they could fix the ban list based on the recent ban list that came out. I did talk about the ban list over on Twitch. That VOD is going to be rebroadcast tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you can check out my thoughts on that. I'm not going to cut it up and video edit it, because it's like days ago at this point. I was watching a streamer that was giving their opinion on it, and then they were asking chat for their opinions, and then, like, when chat was giving their opinions on stuff, they were kind of, I don't know, berating, I guess is the best way to put it, and they were being kind of rude and condescending. And then the funny thing about it was, like, during the stream, when they were, like, chat was giving them opinions on what they thought should be banned and balanced and stuff. And this is the one thing, like, when you play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, and you say out of the gates, I don't play the game competitively, and then you start saying things like Max C shouldn't be banned, when anybody who's actually ever played, like, a seriously Yu-Gi-Oh! Knows that Max C is not something that's good for the game, and has ever been good for the game, which is why you ban TCG. It's like your opinion then at that point becomes invalidated, because at that point it's just like you want easy, cheap wins. And there was another thing that came up in that stream that was interesting in regards to Red Eye's Dark Dragoon. And the streamer then was like, who the hell would want to semi-restrict Red Eye's Dark Dragoon? And again, Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, this has been stuff that's been well documented with a lot of players that are competitive players that have dealt with this card game for quite a bit, is that Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is a Saki card. Saki, for those of you who don't understand the term, means that it's just something that people use to get really, really cheap wins. Because if you get off that condition, unless you have Super Poly in your deck, Gamacell the Kaiju, Gamacell the Turtle, you can't count, or you can beat over it, which is highly impossible unless you already built the board and Red Eye's Dark Dragoon's just going to pop it. It is a problematic card. So even if you're able to deal with one of them, if your opponent's playing 3 of them in the deck, and every Dark Magician deck now is not really a Dark Magician deck, it'll use Dark Magician as the engine for Red Eye's Dark Dragoon, just to get, like, very easy and dumb cheap wins that are not, like, in my opinion, skillful or take a lot of work to do. It kind of devalues the game. So, like, somebody that's defending that type of strategy, it's kind of obvious that you don't really play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! And you really don't know. So I don't take, like, your criticisms in regards to what you should be done with a ban list or not. And they were really rude and condescending. So, like, I had subscribed to them just to kind of get, like, a flow for how they work, and that, like, turned me off. I've been doing, like, a lot of scouting in that retrospect, but I haven't been able to find, like, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel players or VTubers that, like, either are very knowledgeable at the game, that know what they're talking about, or the other thing for me is that, like, they're very rude on their streams. And I tried, for the most part, whenever I mean, I've had to be a bit rude this week on Twitch because we've just had some people that have been like stream snipers and stuff. But like, I try to be the least rude as I can as a human being to anybody that comes into chat because I don't like to have like that type of energy because somebody comes into my chat, somebody subscribed to me, you know, they're taking their time out of their day to be able to watch me when they could be at somebody else's. I don't know. It's just like, I want to say like VTubers lately feel entitled, but they do kind of feel entitlement in that retrospect. So it's kind of barred me. So like, unfortunately, in my many weeks of talent scouting to see anybody like collabs and stuff, I haven't really been able to find a good amount of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel players that, you know, are just kind of chill like how Zen is with this stuff. And, you know, that just kind of wants to have fun and it's not being like uber toxic and, you know. So it's kind of disappointing. I wish there were more people. I've said this before. I really would love to see more people that play Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or get other VTubers into it. But unfortunately, like, Master Duel has had, for a long time right now. Let me pause for a second. I want to make sure OBS is fine. There's been a bit of a player retention problem. I'm not on Twitch, so thank you whoever was like subscribing and following on Twitch. There's no Twitch today. I'm not on Twitch today. Only YouTube. Yeah. So, with that being said, though, yeah. So it's been kind of a bit of an uphill battle with that. The other thing too that I've been noticing is like I went on to post earlier on for the American Truck Simulator stream that we're doing. That I was going to be playing American Truck Simulator today. And what ended up happening with American Truck Simulator Wampus is I noticed that there was usual on X. I think we should just rename that app now basically Discourse, because that's basically what that app's only for nowadays, just having Discourse. A lot of VTubers particularly were getting duped by a person who apparently posted a graduation announcement, how that they were not able to make money off of their audience and stuff of that nature. And it turns out that there was this person never actually even VTubed. They were stringing a lot of people along for fake RP, engagement baiting, rage baiting, and just like messing around with people. And unfortunately, when it comes to like X and stuff, people don't actually fact check anything. So they just like see the post and then they start attacking and they start falling for the rage bait, because that's the problem nowadays. Like everybody on Twitter is trying to rage bait somebody, which is why I try to stay off that app. I mean, every once in a while I've had to put some people in their place. I do again, because it's just like, you know, some silliness and stuff, but I try to avoid rage bait. So I pointed out to this big VTuber that retweeted this and was like bashing this person that's never actually VTubed ever in their life. It was just duping people. Like, you do realize this person's never streamed and they're just doing it for like the RP rage bait. They're probably just getting their jollies out, seeing a whole bunch of people getting upset, bent out of shape over the fact that, you know, this person was claiming that they couldn't make any money off their audience, so that's why they were graduating. Now, I will say, just to that, had it been an actual real situation, I do feel like it is kind of crummy sometimes, because there are VTubers, I'm not going to say that there aren't, because there are a lot of VTubers that get into, like, VTubing, and just do it because they want to, like, get money out of it, and monetization, and people, like... I've even seen with big VTubers where the only reason they even got into VTubing is so that they can just try to enhance their career and side careers in some shape and form, and they don't really like give a I was gonna curse. I forgot I'm not on Twitch. I usually curse on Twitch. I don't curse on YouTube because YouTube's a little bit different. If you want me to curse, on Twitch I'm a little bit less so. But like, there's people that just do things to advance their careers. I've seen it even with big VTubers where they don't actually really care about their audiences or wanting to build their communities, and they just want like to hit a certain subscriber count, or they just want like a big figurine, or they want like some type of like deal, and they'll pretend to like care about things and like video games and like franchises that they've never done, and it's just really for what they can get out of it: money, monetization, perks, and they don't really care about anything that, you know. Sometimes I feel like too big VTubers tend to lose their way because once they get like a little bit of fame, and I say a little bit of fame because, like, even I would view somebody that has, like, 1 million subscribers as that's not, like, a really big accomplishment. Because realistically speaking, if you... I've said this before. I've talked about this on stream before. If you go to regular people outside and you say, any of the really big VTubers names and you poll like regular Joe Schmoes down the street, you'll probably 1 out of 10 people will probably tell you that they've heard of that person, and 90% of the time they'll be like, who? Like, you might be famous in a small pond, but I've said this before, you're not famous like Denzel Washington, Anne Hathaway, Scarlett Johansson and stuff. So sometimes people get a little too big for their britches and let the ego go to their head. I've seen it happen with big VTubers. I've seen it happen with little VTubers. I've seen it happen with just about everybody. Which is a shame when it happens, but it happens. So it's kind of funny. So I'm not going to say, like, that rage debate post isn't necessarily true. Because there are times when it can be valid that people just get into things for the wrong reasons. And then, like, if they can't get the monetization, or they don't get the deals they want, or they don't get people brown-nosing to them, then they just kind of rage out and quit. Because that does happen. It's kind of interesting. But, you know, like, I guess the point in the story that I'm trying to tell is that when you see stuff on X, that's the last place that you should really take advice from. We'll take the 8-hour one. I think we can do this. Oop, nope, I don't want that trailer. Like, let's do this one. That's like the last place you should take advice from. Or not advice, but you should even, like, really, when you see people post and they're doing these things that are gonna, like, upset you and anger you, you should just kind of, like, ignore it. Because that's the best thing that you can do, is just ignore stuff. Particularly because you don't know if, like, what they're even posting is valid, or they're just doing it to get their jollies. And X as a platform, as most people know at this point, is dominated by far-right people who just like to upset people. That's, like, what they like to do. They like to rile people up and get them upset. So that's not to say that with that particular post, that was just somebody who's from the far right. You know, and I'm not, like, pooping on people who are from the far right, but sometimes they can be a bit overbearing with some of the stuff they do and how they act. But, you know. Oh, vehicle damage. That's not good. Check engine light. Uh-oh. I have to go fix my vehicle. Maybe I should not take this drop and go back. Let's go to quick travel. I'll go back to my base and fix it. I can't travel because I took the job. Uh-oh. We might have made a terrible fate here, Dreadnoughts. Oh, that's going to be hard to back into. The wrong way. This is the one part. It's like parallel parking. I never get this right in this game. Let's see if we turn the wheel here. But yeah, you know. So, my advice to people is, like, if you see something on X, fact check. Always fact check it before you actually start getting angry over it. So chances are it's just somebody that's trolling and trying to just get some jollies out of people. You know? And a lot of the time, because how X is as a platform right now, it's somebody who's probably not even a VTuber that's just trying to get some stuff. You know? Don't fall for it, I guess, is the best way. I can't see Jack Diddley Squad from that angle. Can't. That's not particularly the angle I want. Okay. Our car needs to be repaired and serviced. If we can find a service repair station during this, I think we're going to have to do this without knowing how much gas we have, which is... That presents a unique problem to us, Dreadnoughts, but, you know, we took the job, we might as well. So, there's also something that I wanted to talk about, too. There was a friend or acquaintance of mine a while ago, by the name of Countess Crucy, and Crucy tried to warn me about something, and I didn't really listen to them, and they were trying to watch out for me, and they were trying to steer me in the right direction regarding it, and I wanted to give somebody else a benefit of the doubt, when I should have probably been listening to what Crucy had to say a little bit more valid. So, Crucy, because I did ask you to either watch the VOD or to come into the stream, if you happen to pass by or watch the VOD, you were right. I apologize that I didn't listen to you. I should have probably listened to you. You know, and for that, I apologize. Hope you're doing very well. You know, regarding all the stuff that you're doing. I know you're doing stuff with horses still, which is pretty cool. Hope your VTuber comeback is doing pretty well. I think it's like a partial VTuber comeback. I did peep out your Minecraft stream. It was pretty cool. Kind of wanted to play Minecraft actually because of that, but yeah, Greasy, you were right, and I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. Probably should have. I would have been better off and would have saved me a world of headaches. Sometimes you gotta listen to people that are truly looking out for you. And I was kind of blind and I was kind of deaf for that. Because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. So, you know. But yeah, you know, so when it comes to discourse and stuff on X, that's why I try to avoid even going on X anymore. Like, I'll make the post of the schedule. Or maybe I'll comment on a post because nowadays, like, if you don't comment on other people's posts, like, you'll get, like, shadow banned and ghost banned and all these other weird type of bans that they do now on X, which is a bit of a nuisance to me personally. Like, nowadays, they won't even show, like, if you post a link to, like, YouTube or Twitch, like, they don't even show that to a wide range of audience. The whole app is kind of busted because they want you to just pay for it. Although Dredd has, like, the money to pay for, like, a blue check mark just because of who Elon Musk is as a human being and his viewpoints on stuff, even though he's, like, the world's richest man at the moment, allegedly. Like, I just won't, in good faith, give somebody of that nature money. It's like, I had this conversation with a family friend that I hadn't seen in a very long time. Probably, like, a good chunk of years. Maybe 2 decades, at least. And we were having this conversation in regards to, like, traveling in areas I would never travel to, as well as them. And one of the areas that they said they would never travel to is Florida right now, just based on how the political landscape is, right? So I kind of agreed with them, too, because I don't think I would give, as much as I like Disney World, and it's nothing against Disney as a company, but they operate in Florida. I personally wouldn't give my money or business to any state that kind of perpetuates racism, you know, because I grew up in a household where we do not discriminate based on people's age, based on people's nationality, based on people's skin color, based on people's sexual orientation, sexual preference. That's how I was raised as a child. That's the family that I come from. So I can't, like, agree with a lot of the stuff that happens in Florida. That's why I don't do business. Like, I used to go to, like, many different vacations to Walt Disney World and stuff, but, like, I wouldn't go to Walt Disney World anymore. It's like everything that I said before is, like, I would never go on vacation to Texas. Like, you would never catch me dead stepping foot in Texas. I hate Texas. Like, I don't... Again, anything that's, like, a super red state, I don't rock with that. Like, I won't visit those places because, first of all, you know, those are places that don't welcome people like me, first of all. And by people like me, for those of you who don't know, Dredd has Spanish heritage, not Mexican. I'll put that out of the way. And a certain person who's the commander-in-chief has talked very poorly of people that are, like, you know, my heritage, which is very, very disgraceful and stuff. So for me in particular, like, I wouldn't step foot in a state that doesn't welcome people of my heritage. Like, you know, Dredd's a mutt, but, you know, for all intents and purposes, you know, I don't step foot in places that, you know, don't welcome everybody. Texas is one of them. Florida's another. Georgia is kind of okay, depending on the parts of Georgia. You know, but I don't want to give business, I guess is the best way to put it, to places that are very rude and have certain political beliefs that I don't particularly believe in. Like, I do agree in the philosophy of agreeing to disagree in terms of it. Like, I wouldn't... People who believe in those weird political things, like, I'm not gonna bash them or anything of the sort, because that's not me, but that's, like... I tend to, these days, stay away from it, because I feel like the Earth side has become very insensitive to how to treat human beings. And these are people who tend to be very religious and in tune with their faith. And, like, one of the things that I don't understand as a human being is how somebody could be very religious and then be incredibly mean behind the scenes. Like, why would you do that? Like, I don't understand it. I understand sometimes people get very passionate about their religion and stuff, but like, I don't think there's any religion that I know of that has it so that people that has it that says like treat people poorly and partake in racism and sexism and all these other things. So it's like, I don't know, do you go to confession every week to confess some of these sins that you're committing? I'm not a religious person. Keep that in mind. Mama Dread in particular is religious. Mama Dread was raised as a Catholic. I was technically raised as a Catholic, but I don't practice religion. I don't believe in it. I'm an atheist, believe it or not. But I don't knock people that believe in stuff if that's what helps them get through the day. But like, from my viewpoint, because I've seen it over the years, I went to Catholic school and everything of that nature, I've seen people who are supposed to be the most religious that tend to be the most mean-spirited individuals that don't have the values that they allegedly claim to have. So for me, when I hear these things, it's just like, it turns me off on that, so I try to not. But I don't understand how you can be religious and then commit sins. Isn't there, like, I think almost every religion has something where you have to treat others how you would treat yourself. I mean, that's just like the basic human principles of life too, right? So I don't know. Sometimes it makes me scratch my head. Like, so I was having a discussion with a family friend, and we were like, yeah, we don't understand what's really going on with the world now. Like, it feels like because of what's happening in America right now, that it's giving people the right to just, like, be mean to people. Like, I feel like even people who aren't Republicans now are, like, adopting that thing where it's just like, why is everybody being such terrible individuals to people? Why are people always being mean? Why are people always attacking each other? Like, is this what happened because of one man got elected into office, that this is, like, brought out the worst in human beings? Sometimes I feel like that's actually the case. Like, I've seen some very good people that have just, like, I don't want to say corrupted, but they've changed so much, man. It kind of pains me, like, when I see stuff. And because, like, I'm a streamer, unfortunately, I'm subjected to a lot of that type of stuff all the time where I see it happening. And it just, like, I don't want to say it breaks my heart, but it turns me off a lot, like, for streaming. That's why lately I've kind of just been sticking to myself. I pop into places here and there, but, I just can't really vibe with too many places now because I'm trying to find people that, like, aren't mean. Aren't mean, right? I've been streaming for 6 years. I've always tried to find, like, my VTuber home, so to speak. That's why I'm doing stuff with Psycho Studios right now. Because I couldn't find a home, I have to create a home, I suppose you could say. But sometimes it's just disheartening, man. Like, I feel like this, and this goes back to something that Nova said on a Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel stream with Paul from That's a Plus One. He's a very famous Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creator. Very chilled, down to earth, nice guy. One of the few, like, super nice people, I feel like, when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! Content creation. As well as Simo, may he rest in peace. Simo is a really cool guy, too. Rexon's pretty cool, too. I gotta put over Rexon. Rexon's nice, dude. Nice chap. But, like, you just see it. Like, I don't know. I feel like, and Nova was right about this, and as well as Paul. Like, after the pandemic, I feel like people have stopped learning how to be human beings because they became terminally online because of the pandemic and being locked up, and they fell into this whole, like, streamer culture ideology of it. So, like, nowadays, they just, like, focus on misbehaving like how they see their favorite streamers misbehave because they see, like, their famous streamers misbehave, and then they think, like, well, if that streamer misbehaved, pardon the noise in the background, I live in a noisy city, time to time you order emergency services, but I feel like they see, like, their streamers and big streamers misbehaving and acting a certain way and acting, not becoming, and then they're like, oh, well, because that streamer did that, that's okay for me to do it. And I feel like because of that, you have all these people then on the internet, big people, small people, middle people and stuff that act that way. And it's crazy how, like, human beings have adopted toxic streaming culture into their daily lives. Like, it's just insane to me. So that's why I've just kind of been scaling back. I'll make a post on social media about, like, what I'm doing in terms of streaming stuff. And then, like, I've had to address stuff lately that I didn't want to ever address because I was kind of forced into that situation, and now I'm just like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not going to continue. I said my piece and stuff with that, and I've kind of made my peace. You know, I've exercised my demons, you could say, and I'm fine. Like this week in particular, streaming wise, I've had a really fun time streaming. I've played some games that were not necessarily games that people wanted me to play, but I had fun doing just about everything. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel was still a bit of stressful and stuff. I did enjoy my time with Forza, but I can't do like the online races. I don't think I can milk it, to be honest, for anything else. So I'll probably get uninstall. I'll probably play Fortnite next week on stream, because they'll do like the July 4th event and stuff. So I usually like to pop in for that. I'll definitely probably be playing a little bit more Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I'll get back to doing collabs too. Again, it's like I haven't found like collab partners. And I talked to somebody about doing like some collabs in regards to like Repo and Fortnite. I haven't heard back from him. I think because he's been busy, he's kind of been, you know, going through stuff. I feel like just about when it comes to summer, a lot of YouTubers are just kind of going through stuff. I don't want to call it the summer blues, but it's like the stress and the grind, because like when you realize it, once you hit like June, July, most VTubers that have been around, we've hitting that 6-month stretch out of the year. So then you're just trying to like figure what's the next plan, what's the next plan of action, what's the next thing that we should do. You know, you start like looking at it like, wow, it's 6 months already. And then again, the other thing about streaming, I understand a lot of people are stressed is like YouTube. I've fallen out of YouTube streaming. Like, I prefer to stream on Twitch because I see just a lot more viewership lately. I don't know, like with YouTube, I feel like lately, since they've done so many different changes with like an AI stuff now, I feel like everything YouTube's doing is like flagging content creators like as AI when they're not AI, like VTubers in particular. And it's limiting like VTubers' growth. Like the algorithm is all messed up. It truly is at this point. Like even big VTubers are seeing like really bad stuff on YouTube, which is why I've been trying my hand more so on Twitch. Every once in a while, I'll do like a stream here on YouTube because I understand like I have a pretty big. Those two cars are all going to crash into each other, but I understand. Like I've seen a lot of people, you know, now that are kind of like going through the growing pains of it. The other thing too is like, I think it was Giga who talked about this. I don't know Giga personally. But I want to preface that because when I like name drop people nowadays, people would be like, "Oh, Dread knows them." No, Dread don't know them. But like Giga said it best. Like there was that big boom of VTubers in 2020. I'm not a VTuber from 2020. I'm a VTuber from 2019. I've told the story before. I don't want to say who was responsible for getting me into VTubing. Watch an old VOD and it'll tell you who. But like I from 2019 VTubing, but like VTubing kind of like everybody started blowing up in the 2020s when, believe it or not, surprise, surprise, everybody was home for the pandemic. And then like Giga said it best, like that boom is kind of over now. There is definitely a big oversaturation. And then on top of that, I feel like YouTube has kind of changed what they're doing with VTubing. Like, you know, so I feel like they're not really showing, because like I used to do on even YouTube videos, like 10,000 views on YouTube videos and stuff. And that was like 4 or 5 years ago when the algorithm was way, way different. Now the algorithm's like way different. It's like over prioritizing YouTube shorts in particular. So like if you're not doing like YouTube shorts, they won't show your stuff. If you're not doing short form content, they won't show your stuff. And it's like long form content. That's why I've been on Twitch, because it's like Twitch is really more the platform for streaming. But then there's all that other headaches too, because like you'll get people that don't want to sit through ads, which I understand. Like if you don't want to sit through ads, that's your prerogative. But then a lot of the times these people that also complain about ads when they could just use an ad blocker, like I would never get mad at somebody who comes to my Twitch streams and uses an ad blocker. Like I'm not gonna get angry. I understand that. Like, if that's your prerogative, that's your prerogative. Just don't say you're using an ad blocker in my stream. But, like, the other thing, too, is, like, when these people complain about ads, they still, though, will, like, buy Netflix and have to sit through ads, or they have ESPN Unlimited and watch WWE programming, and they have to sit through ads there. So I don't understand, like, why are you complaining about sitting through ads? Like, I'll tell you a fun story. Whenever I'm watching other people's streams that are monetized, and we might run out of gas here. When I'm watching people's streams and they have like ads, I actually sit through the ads. This is a fun story. I truly sit through the ads. I watched ads because I want them to get those couple cents that they get. And, like, let me pull the veil or the curtain for everybody that doesn't know this. Like, when you're streaming on YouTube or Twitch and you have ads on it, you're only getting paid cents per impression. You're lucky sometimes. I got a speeding violation because I looked away for a second. Well, we can afford it. Like, the thing about it is, like, you're only getting paid a couple cents. You're not getting paid as much as people think, even bigger people. I had a friend who had, like, 1 million subscribers, Tabor Hill. I've talked to him. He's a good buddy of mine. He's been starting to stream on Twitch again, so hopefully we'll get something with Tabor going again. But, like, he has, like, 1 million subscribers, and he's only making $65,000 a year from, like, AdSense and stuff. So, like, the way, like, mostly VTubers make their money, for those of you who don't know, is you're usually making it through sponsorships and for other things. That's why there's always that big debate, too. Like, because there's a big elephant in the room in regards to, like, a lot of sponsored streams for Twitch side. I feel like it happened on YouTube, too, but you can't really prove it on YouTube. But for, like, the Twitch side, a lot of it, there were people who were, like, big streamers that were botting their own viewership so they could get sponsorships, and then they could do, like, the sponsorships into paying them amounts of money that they didn't actually have. And Twitch apparently has taken action to it now. But, like, a lot of people are in an uproar because they're saying, like, that's not fair, because what happens if somebody accuses me of viewbotting and then I get hit with it? I always feel like the people that complain about viewbotting, or that are complaining about measures that are taken against viewbotting, are the people that are viewbotting again. Like, there's always been also an issue on YouTube, right? Like, I'll have people on YouTube that I'm subscribed to that have, like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, or, like, 50,000 subscribers, but their videos don't even do, in terms of viewership, half of that. So, like, there's always been the debate, even on YouTube, that people have probably bought subscribers, because, you know, that's a thing that does happen. I have never done it. I would never do stuff like that because I feel like it's cheating, but there are people who have done it. So, you know, it always raises questions. Like, if I see somebody that has a very high viewer count, or not viewer count, excuse me, higher subscriber count on YouTube, but then they have very low viewership on videos, particularly VODs. Like, if you have 1 million subscribers, but you're only doing 50,000 on VOD, like, I don't understand how that makes sense. You know? Like, it doesn't really make sense to me. The math doesn't math. I've even seen, like, people who have, like, 50,000 subscribers, and they'll get, like, a VOD that has, like, the same type of numbers that I have. So, like, did you buy the subscribers? And this is the other thing, too, that, like, people don't really understand. Like, you can have a very high subscriber count, but then it's like, what are we doing here? Because you have a high subscriber count, but it's not translating into viewers. So then it raises the question, like, are you actually entertaining? You know, like, there's a disparity here. I feel like YouTube has to really start looking into that stuff, too. I'm gonna go into the service area so we can repair the truck as well, because the math doesn't math. Which I've never understood that. Like, the math doesn't math. At least, like, when I'm looking at stuff on Twitch, it's, like, making sense. You know? And another problem with YouTube, too, and I've said this before quite a bit, is, like, when it comes to YouTube, like, YouTube has a problem where it doesn't always purge, like, fake subscribers, right? So then you get these people that have a whole bunch of subscribers because a whole bunch of things are botted and stuff. And then what ends up happening... Hold that thought here in a second, Journey. Like, what ends up happening is, like, YouTube doesn't purge it. So then you have all these dead, like, viewers. I've had the problem, too. Like, whenever I see somebody that's subscribed to my YouTube channel, I actually do what is considered from my end a quality assurance test, right? So for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about in terms of quality assurance, is I basically go and I look at the viewers who are subscribed to me that are actually, like, active viewers. And what I'll do is I cross-reference them for a couple things. I don't know how many other actual streamers do this, but I do it all the time. I cross-reference them for a couple things. The first thing that I cross-reference them for is whether or not they are somebody that's supposed to be on my YouTube channel. If I notice that it's a cheapy account, they automatically get banned I hide them, and they never come through ever again. Because I don't want chibis on my channel, because they're not supposed to be here. I've said that before many different times. I don't think there's a service repair center I can go to here. So I don't want chibis, so I look to see if it's a chibi account. If I notice it's a chibi account, the first thing I do is autoban. The other thing I do is I look to see if the account that is subscribed to me, that is active thing, is actually legitimate. If I don't see that it's a legitimate account, and it looks like it's a little bit sus, I hide it. So it's just a rest stop? It looks like it's a rest stop. Okay, so I can't repair my vehicle here. That's kind of unfortunate. You know? Just turn around. Like a rhinestone cowboy. Heels. We don't have to weigh ourselves here, so we're good. But yeah, you know. It's those things. Those things in particular, you know, so I look to see if it's in... But a lot of people don't do that. Like, I do the same thing on Twitter. So, like, I'll have people that follow me, and they're, like, obviously graphics bots and stuff. And for me, what I'll do... Oh, there is a repair center. It's not too far from our area. What I end up doing is, like, when I notice that it's something that's kind of sus, in terms of the account, I block them. But I know a lot of people on Twitter that don't block these illegitimate bot accounts. What ends up happening... Can I go through here to get there? I hope I can. Because then that, we're going to go the long way, and that's going to kind of mess up. I need to go to the repair center. It's my Uh-oh. Oh, no. Told you we were going to have an oopsie today. Oh, no. Let's move back. I thought I could get away with this. Move. Move. I'm trying to get in here. Go. I don't think we can get in here. Can I just brute force it? Different lock. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's see if I can... Oh, we made a terrible mistake. The trailer is getting damaged. We're not going to get paid. It's over for us. Disengage. Let me go fix the truck, and then I'll try to come back and get that. We're being irresponsible with our cargo. My truck is more important to me than getting this finished. Let me go repair the truck, and then I'll come back for it. Hopefully it's still there, if not. You know, so it's like, I don't know. Like, even on Twitter, I have people that are following me that then let bots follow them, and then I'll look and I'll be like, why is this bot following me? It's because somebody on Twitter didn't, like, do something to get rid of their graphics bots. Because they just wanted to pad. Where's the repair center? There we go. I want to repair my truck. Alright, service it. Let's repair the damage. Confirm. Alright. This truck, unfortunately, I'm going to have to put it out to pasture pretty soon. Go back and get my cargo. Yeah, you know, so I see that type of stuff, and it's just like, eh. It's whatever. You know, there's not too much you can do about it. But it'd be nice if people actually did quality control. Also, YouTube. I wish YouTube would do quality control, too. Some of this stuff. I'm trying to find where my cargo went. But then we can get back to doing this. And there's been, like, a lot of stuff that's just been grinding my gears lately. I think my cargo... I want to go for the rest there. See if we can go back this way. And reattach the trailer. Oh, no. Does anybody remember where I put my cargo? And Dread forgot, like an irresponsible truck driver. I mean, this is part of the fun, right? It was the ROA, so we gotta drive around. Right? I think I found it. I think it's over here. No? Oh no, I'm so lost, it's not even funny. I wanna crash my car. Just got it back. Let's drive around till we find it. It'd be funny if it's just like on the side of the road there and I can't get it back, right? Where's my car go? Where's my cargo? Oh, there's my cargo. Alright, we got it back. That trailer's gonna be so damaged, though. By the time we go back to get it. So I gotta turn my wheels a little bit this way. A little bit more. This is like the world's biggest brain fart right now, but maybe we can hit it in reverse and force it out. See if we can do it. Now the real question is, can we get it? I think the trailer is damaged. I can't get it out of there. Is there a service I can do to be able to get it? Services. How are we gonna turn this? I can't go in reverse. It's like it's stuck. I think this is over for us. We're about to get fired from our job. No matter what I do, I can't get it out. I can't get it out of there. Look at this. An epic fail literally on Stream Draw Nights. This is the most epic fail possible. Oh no. There's gotta be a way where I can turn the vehicle, maybe? No. I don't know. Anybody have any suggestions? I can't get it out of there. Can we get a tow truck, maybe? Oh no. Truck manager, maybe? Nope, that's not it. What can we do? Services? That's not gonna help. Can we fast travel, maybe? I can't. How do I get this truck out? I think we're cooked. I'm so stuck, it's not even funny. I'm gonna try to see with all the... I don't think my truck is strong enough. Does that seem to be doing anything? Maybe? Does it look like it's moving? Is it moving? I have no way of doing this. Oh my goodness, this is an epic fail, literally. There used to be something where you could... Well... I don't think there's a way to get out of here. I'm so screwed. Literally. I can't get out of here. It won't back up. What are we gonna do? We're gonna be stuck here the whole time. Let's see if I can turn... No. It's literally just stuck there. Well, guess what, guys? Is there a way to quit the job? We tried. abandon the job. That sucks, man. Just lost money from that, but nothing else we could do. I'd rather fix my truck, but we lost some profit there. Oh well. They love you. Don't crash into the tree. How far is the next job? Let's take a job that's close. I don't know if we'll be able to finish it though. Can get to that one in 31 minutes, hopefully. If we could take that job. That's so unfortunate too, because you lose a lot of money. Went down in price a bit. But what are you gonna do? Like, the game glitched us there. That was my own fault because I should have drove the right way. I didn't. So what are you gonna do about it, right? Yeah, you know, I've just been trying to make sense of Twitch and YouTube, but trying to crash my car after I just got it back. Let's check out one of these radio stations while we're at it. Not that one. Media, audio player, game radio. Which one is the okay one to use? This one's stream safe, it says. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice driving vibe. Hopefully you don't get any DMCA for it. Because that's like one of the main features now of the game. And they put it. But I do enjoy American Truck Simulators. It's just something fun about driving around. Ba-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-dum. An hour and 20 minutes to get to that gig. I don't think we'll get there in enough time. Hopefully that'll be one that we could take, though. Because I want to be able to finish one of our objectives today. That is some nice music. This is apparently Stream Beats by Harris Holler. I do appreciate that American Truck Simulator did something in terms of radio stations. Just to make it a little bit better. Like, this update is really good because they add a lot of quality of life. Like, the way that the game moves now, the way that the cars operate, the UI is a little bit more crisp and clean. All fun little things. Nice and chill, right? Chill, relax vibes. Just let the open road take you, Dread Knights. Feel the music. Feel the beat. It is kind of a shame, though, you know. But VTubing's definitely, I agree with what Giga said. It's dropping off. Like, I would say it would probably be easier for me at this point to probably be even, like, just a voice on the internet and not actually have a VTuber model. But the reason how I even got into VTuber, I said this before, is because, like, I don't want to show my face on stream. Not that I'm ugly or anything, but, like, because of IRL work and stuff that I do, I don't want my face out there. And because there's a lot of weird people on the internet, I don't want my identity being linked. This is why I had a disagreement with somebody, because they were trying to link my identity to theirs. I didn't want that because they have a lot of weird people that follow them. Which was my biggest concern. But, like, the other thing too is, like, this was the nice middle ground to be able to give people interaction with something, or as an actual physical presence on stream. This is Escape and Loving Memories. Yeah. I don't really want to hear a love song right now. Is there a way to change the channel? Or not change the channel, but skip the song? That's a thing I would like. So tomorrow, World's Worst Karaoke. I was talking with Sister Dread earlier on. We have a playlist that, or curated a set list that I think most people will be pretty interested in. It's a lot of fun songs. There is a theme for tomorrow's World's Worst Karaoke too. So, I don't want to spoil the theme. I didn't even put in the description. I just said, who can guess the theme, and I put a devil face up. Are we going to cause some mischief tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe we are. Maybe we aren't. But there is a theme. Every song has meaning to it. Everything has purpose. Just like the last World's Worst Karaoke stream, where the theme of it was my VTuber journey throughout the 6 years that I've been doing it. Just like when we did the Christmas karaoke, it was obviously a Christmas themed one. Could be turning here. I forgot to put the... Uh-oh. Slow down. I was trying to put the turn signal on and it did the wrong button press. Turn, turn, turn. Don't crash that. I don't want to mess up mine. The music is good though. The streamer safe music is nice. It's like lo-fi beats. I'm actually a big fan of lo-fi beats. How many of you are interested in that in chat? Probably not too many. Boom. Okay, so we got here. I don't know if there's a job for us to take though. That's a short song. Stray by Gillesto. Alright, freight market. This job could be done in an hour and 46 minutes. Let's take it. The one thing I really wish American Truck Simulator would do though, is I wish like there was an option to just like automatically attach the thing so I wouldn't have to parallel park. I'm terrible at that. It's like I gotta... See, this part's the hardest part. This is how you know Dread doesn't drive in IRL. Stuff like this. But the driving still is way better in this game than, let's say, Forza. Forza's driving, oh my goodness. I don't know if that's actually really racing driving. Because I've played racing games before, but I've never felt it that bad, so to speak. Like, it's not that the controls are bad, but like, I don't know, like online races particularly weren't my cup of tea. I wanted to do the convoy stuff, but I could never run into people that were interested in doing that. Are we not perfectly lined up for this? We aren't. Okay. Oh wait, we can't now. That's weird. Sometimes the game allows for it, sometimes it doesn't. Alright. To our destination, Dread Knights. These goods aren't going to deliver themselves. Hop in the passenger seat. We're going for a ride. Where are we exactly? We are in California. One of my favorite places. One day I hope to revisit. Pretty soon. Pretty soon, I would say. Look at these mountains. Look at this. I gotta always be careful of the pedestrians, too. Because, you know, you never know what's gonna happen with them. These cars have, like, a mind of their own. Even though they've done great strides to prevent them from, like, crashing. They used to be way more erratic before. Oh, let's make sure stream's good. Okay, we're in green. It's funny because, like, this week I feel like our YouTube stream quality has been better than our Twitch one. Make it make sense. But I do prefer Twitch. Because we have sound alerts over there. The vibe is different, too. You know, YouTube has become a weird thing where I think it's just pushing shorts at this point. YouTube wants to be like TikTok, but doesn't understand that the thing that made YouTube great is YouTube being YouTube. And, you know, they've tried for years to try to make this, like, a great streaming platform, but I don't feel like they've done enough. They had a good idea in the beginning, and then they just never ran with it. So it's like, a lot of times lately when I do stream here, I feel like I'm just wasting my time. I mean, I could have done it on Twitch. I know there's people who are like, Dread, you should multi-stream. Here's the thing with multi-streaming. With Restream in particular, I have to give them money every month just to stream on 2 platforms at the same time. I don't know if the quality is even going to be good, so I'm not going to give my money to Restream. A monthly service, I'm paying more money than I'm making, first of all, off of YouTubing. The way it makes sense to me. On top of that, like, again, to put stuff out on YouTube, like, I'll tell you, most people that restream, and they're restreaming to YouTube and Twitch, they're getting more of their viewers on Twitch than they are on YouTube. Just because, like, the rules on Twitch are a little bit more lax, I want to say, compared to YouTube at the moment. So I prefer Twitch. On top of that, like, I have more control over stuff on Twitch. Like, when I ban somebody on Twitch, I ban them. And I can have it so that they will never chat in my stream again. I can have it where I have people who are banned cannot even watch my streams. There's stuff that you can do. You have more control over your stuff. On YouTube, I do like the fact that you can hide people and they'll never be able to chat or leave a comment and stuff ever again. Like, I think that's a kind of a useful tool. But at the end of the day, they'll just make another account on YouTube, or excuse me, Twitch. If it's somebody that's a ban evader, it will actually give you notification via your OBS that it's a possible ban evader who is trying to comment again on your things. I like that on Twitch. We don't have stuff like that on YouTube, so I'll see somebody that comes in, or probably maybe somebody that I banned, and I can't, like, re-ban them. Or I can, like, I have to re-hide them and stuff, because that's basically what you do on YouTube, is you shadow ban somebody from the channel, as it's called. But you can't really do that. Like, on Twitch, you have more control, I guess is the point I'm trying to make. And they can put in, like, an I'm sorry request, and, you know, I've had a couple of I'm sorry requests, and I've not overturned them, because it's usually, like, there's more control over streams, too. Like, Twitch now is having where you can do them short streams, as well as the same thing. I gotta add the plugin, because I'm gonna probably try that out. YouTube has done it, too. But whenever I try, like, the YouTube short streaming thing, it, like, messes with my OBS, and I get, like, instead of green, I get red. So it's like, I'm not gonna do that, because then it compromises my stream quality, you know? If YouTube works for you, great, but I feel like I'm more better off on Twitch, despite the fact that we have a bigger install base on YouTube. But I have the big install base because it was on YouTube for so many years at this point, you know? So, it'd be like that. That's why I prefer Twitch, really, too. There's just, I have sound alerts. Most of my friends that actually stream are on Twitch. Most of the people I like to watch these days that are interesting are mostly on Twitch. There's still some YouTube people I watch. But look at this Escape Ravager Fruscat. How is everybody today? What are you all eating for dinner? I have burritos, bean burritos, because I'm trying to eat healthier, and bean burritos are, for the most part, healthy. So I'm going to be eating some bean burritos today. It's Thursday, too, so it's like kind of, sort of, the end of the week for me, you could say. So I'm going to be, after this stream, cracking open a nice cold one, like a good old trucker would, I guess you could say. Have myself some bean burritos. I do have to prep some stuff for karaoke. I have a karaoke stream that's coming up. Hello there, those people that came in and just mysteriously disappeared at the same time. Were you checking out to see how many viewers I had, or what I was talking about? It's so nice that you come in all the time to check up on me. I do appreciate that. You know? You know that saying that they say your biggest haters are probably your biggest fans? If you want, I could give you an autograph. I could make it out to you. I could, whoever it is. To my biggest fan, insert name. Why don't you just stay and hang out if that's what you want to do? And if you don't want to stay and hang out, why you just keep peeking in? You want to see if things have changed? Why you gotta keep tabs on Dread? Do you miss me that much? I doubt it. Because you probably said you hated me in so many different ways, right? So if you hate me, why would you want to come back here, right? That's just kind of my logic, right? If somebody tells me they hate me, I don't come back. I go about my business. I live my life. Be free. This has been one of the best streaming weeks for me this week, because I feel like I've had a lot of stuff that I've been able to get off my chest. I feel like the monkey that was on my shoulder, I got it off my shoulder. And we're getting back to just like vibing and chilling, thriving, and enjoying the games. Sometimes I feel like people just gotta understand, sometimes it's time to move on. You know? I don't know how many times I can say this to one individual or a couple individuals. It's time to move on. Over and done with. Be free. Live your life. I know Dread is a very handsome guy, and I'm very charismatic and super, super nice, but, you know, it's time. Time to let go. Time to be free. Run free. Dread is not the person you're looking for. I can't tell you this. I've been trying to tell multiple people this for a while. It's time to move on. I've moved on, why can't you? You know? I can't drop any more hints than I have personally at this point. You know? I like to surround myself with very positive people, very uplifting people. I like people who lift me up and are supportive and don't put me down. And if you don't fit that type of vibe with me, then I really just don't want to be around you. I guess there's no way to put it. That applies for just about anybody. You know. I think most people can relate to that, right? Oh look, that person that keeps coming in and out decided that he wanted to leave again. Bon voyage, I suppose. Thank you for stopping by. Alright. This is some good music. This is Escape, Portrait of You. Anybody ever seen or read the book, The Picture of Dorian Gray? The Picture of Dorian Gray was this interesting thing where the man wouldn't age, but the picture they had would be super deformed, and he kept his youth that way. And it's funny because the interesting thing about that book is talking about how people wear masks in life, right? So, like, they pretend and put on this, like, fake appearance for a whole bunch of people. But you never truly see who they really are. Streaming is kind of a lot like that. That's why I've always tried to keep my appearance in terms of, like, actually how I operate. Like, the one thing with a Dread stream that you're always going to get is that you're always going to know that I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm always going to keep things real. I'm always going to be at face value. If I don't like something, I'm going to say I don't like something. If something bothers me, I'm going to get it off my chest, but I'm going to do so in a respectful manner. And I'm genuine. My opinions are my opinions, and I stick to them. I stick to my guns. What you see is what you get. This is not a show. This is not smoke and mirrors. This is me. This is 100% authenticity. The only difference is on Twitch, you'll maybe hear me let out S-bombs sometimes. This is like Arabian type of music. Can we say Arabian without getting canceled? I don't know. This is very kind of like Arabian Nights, Arabian Days. Probably people don't remember that. Somewhere out there, somebody's probably looking at me like, what the hell? We're getting ready for World's Worst Karaoke. Anybody remember Aladdin? You'll never have a friend, never have a friend. You'll never have a friend, never have a friend like me. I'm too good and pure for this world. That's what it's about, Dread Knights. My friendship is earned. It's not given. I've always said that. Escape Games by Zensei. Interesting name. It's a funny song, too. Nice vibe we got going on here. This proves I'm a good driver, though. Clearly, I followed the rules of the road. I mean, yeah, we abandoned a cargo in one of the runs, but we're still good. We're still good. It's green light. I went to put the turn signal on, and instead the wipers turned on. Make it make sense. I think maybe this game has like 2 controller setups. I'll have to fix that off the stream, but that's fine. I have a comment? Somebody left me a comment on YouTube? Do you want to, like, scream at me? How dare this streamer say these things? It's fine. How dare this streamer vague post? Who does he think he is? I'm the only one that's allowed to vague post. Yeah. I heard that. I don't care, personally. Dread being passive or aggressive on a chatting stream? I would never do that. You can't see me making the shifty eye face. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, it's on our people. People don't like me, I don't care. I don't mean like. I mean, if you don't like me as a person, I don't care. One person's opinion on the internet is not going to make me go boo-hoo, woe is me. Never has. Never will. A lot of my friends IRL have a nickname for me. George, this is a good friend of mine. He, in particular, called me always Straight Shooting Kev. And the reason he gave me that name was because it guaranteed that I would always tell people how I felt and how it truly is. People got used to the nickname Straight Shooting Kev. To the point that, like, they're like, oh, damn it, it's Straight Shooting Kev again. He's coming out. Fun fact, I probably just told you my name, but it's not a big deal because it's an Easter egg anyway. So a lot of people know my name. I don't know my full name, but... This music is good. We ran through a red light, though, did we not? I didn't put the lights on. I don't put the lights on. You know, how are we supposed to make this delivery? I think once we do make this delivery, though, I'm probably not going to have time to do an American Truck Simulator around. Because it takes a long time to deliver this cargo. I think, like, every hour is, like, 20 minutes. So this is 3 hours. So this is probably going to take us almost to end of stream to get this delivery done. Give or take. I could be wrong about that, though. I don't remember. Anybody in chat can confirm that. I have the high beams on. I don't understand why it keeps giving me tips of stuff I've already done. This music seems kind of naughty now. When we got to the chorus of it, it kind of sounds like something that would be in a naughty movie, I guess you could say. Not that I've ever watched any of those, but there's the running joke from Family Guy, I suppose. It's like that, you know, bum chicka wow wow type of music. They probably didn't think this one through with the playlist. Look at the scenery. Driving over the mountains. Because we're in California. California has a lot of mountaintops. Hey, you guys are back again. How are you doing? Good to see you again. Good to see you again. You keep popping in and out. Hi, hi, howdy, howdy. Pop a squat. Pop up a chair. Open up a cold, frosty beverage. Have a bottle of water, whatever. How are you doing? Are you fans of Dread? You seem to come in quite a bit. Welcome, welcome. We're playing some American Truck Simulator. We're also yapping, talking about things that grind my gears. What does grind your gears, Dreadnates? You know what grinds my gears? Taco Bell orders that aren't filled correctly. I hate Taco Bell orders that aren't filled correctly. I had a Taco Bell order a couple days ago. Where I was trying out, like, the new fajita street chalupas. They were just utterly terrible. It was like the chicken wasn't properly cooked. All these are random things. It was not good. It was not good and tasty. You know what also bars me, too? It grinds my gears. People are passive-aggressive. Any of you hate that in chat? I hate that. And then people that... You know what also grinds my gears? People just don't say what they want to say. Man. All those things grind my gears. I don't know about you, chat. Any of you, feel free to get it off your chest. Hit that subscribe button, you can chat. If you dare. Why is this baby making music, though? It really is baby making music, this streamer safer. Ah, we lost somebody again. I guess they can't handle my straight shooting ways. Oh well. Maybe baby making music is too much for them. It does, though. It sounds like, you know, you're playing some Barry Manilow and you're gonna go make a baby. I mean, there are radio stations you can play in American Truck Simulator, but unfortunately they're not, like, streamer safe. The pedestrian cart almost hit me. But this proves Dread is a good driver. The Forza Horizon 6 thing was just terrible controls. Look at me. Look how good of a driver I am. I haven't crashed anything. We're gonna make this delivery. Nobody saw my failed delivery from before. We got caught in a glitch, for those of you who didn't see earlier. This is the nice calmness of driving. There's some people who get super stressed out driving. I don't drive IRL, but I could understand why it could be stressful. Like if you're going on speeding highways and stuff, or dealing with traffic. I knew somebody who used to get road rage over traffic and stuff. So much so that one time he almost got into a fight with somebody. I was in the passenger seat, and I was just like looking on like, uh-oh, something's about to go down. I feel like if you have road rage, you probably shouldn't drive a car, because driving requires patience, and if you don't have patience and you don't have like a cool head on your shoulder, this is probably not the activity that you should do. Fortunately, I've known a lot of good drivers in life. I've had exes that were pretty good drivers. I've had quasi besties, I guess is the best way to put it, that were pretty good drivers as well. I've had friends that were really good ones. I've had some friends though that thought they were like an initial D, and they would drive up a storm like crazy, like they would literally drive like if they thought they were initial D. Those friends I try to avoid getting back in the car with them, because it's like, oh no. I understand you have an engine in your car that's not technically supposed to be in that car, and you want it to purr like a Discord kitten, but no. Can't have that. Can't have that. Hey, look at this. It's a nice crisp turn there, Dread Knights. Praise me. Worship me. No, don't do that. Hey, you're kind of slow. Can you look at this pedestrian car? It's trying to ruin our run. Ruin my run. Move it! This is how you know I'm from NYC. I've never even driven a car in my life, and I have the New Yorker road rage. Hey, I'm driving here! What are you doing? What is this car's deal? It's a 65, and you're only doing 55. I got like an hour to make this deliver. Well, I got 8 hours to make this delivery, but still. Jeez Louise, man. Must have been a women driver. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you all. I actually, most of the drivers that I know, IRL, are actually women drivers that are good. Like good women drivers, so that the whole thing of women drivers are terrible, that's not true. Most of the terrible drivers I know are all guys. Oh, man. Uh-oh. Nobody saw that. Nobody saw me crash into a vehicle that I didn't actually see. It was probably the trailer. Will we make this light, or will we get another red light? 1 second here, laddies. Okay. I'll make sure stream quality is good, because I'm looking over my phone and my phone's buffering. If you're on mobile and it's buffering, it's not me. So the YouTube pushing a bunch of AI, but they don't push anything else that... Ooh, we almost crashed. Not pushing anything else that's useful on the platform anymore. Come on, beep beep! We should probably put our turn signal on, right? And probably work in our benefit here. I feel like playing a match of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel once we get this done. I feel like the next gig that we'll take will probably take too long to fish on stream. I don't know, we'll see. Wouldn't mind playing a round of Dogmatica. I'm gonna have to slow down here. Turn. We really should have been in this lane because we're turning. See, I know that much at least. I might not be the world's best driver, but I'm somewhat confident in driving when I'm not having to actually race. Let's fix the wheel here. As the world turns, Strict Knights. It used to be a soap opera. I've never seen it. I wasn't really too into soap operas. That was more like Sister Dread's type of thing. Sister Dread used to watch like those daily soap opera type stuff, so I don't know, what were they called back in the day? All My Children, I forgot what the R one was called. Loving? Oh no, they were like those I don't want to call them trashy, but they were those stereotypical 90s soap operas. She used to also watch like some of the teen soap opera type stuff. So she would watch Beverly Hills 90210. the original one. She would also watch Melrose Place. Melrose Place was actually kind of good. Even as like a I don't want to say chibi dread, but kind of chibi dread. Like, I thought Melrose Place was better than Beverly Hills 90210. Felt like the characters in Beverly Hills 90210 were a little one-dimensional. And I felt like, I don't know, they were annoying characters. At least in Melrose Place, they were interesting. They were all terrible, evil individuals. They were all trying to backstab each other and sleep with each other and stuff. Kind of like the... Well, I don't want to say that because that last part's not true, but the backstabbing part kind of feels like the VTuber spear in a way. The sleeping with part's not true, but, you know. We're in Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Las Vegas. I'm practicing for World's Worst Karaoke. I'm not singing that tomorrow. What will Dread sing? You have to tune in tomorrow to find out. Won't you, Dread Knights? I guarantee you, the songs I'm singing are not songs I've sang before. It's a very interesting playlist. Well, technically, there will be one song that I'm going to sing. Because I always sing it every stream that I do. Because it's always, you know, paying tribute to the greats that have passed. Not passed on, but are, you know, either on a bit of a hiatus or not. So, you will. I'm just going to spoil that part because it's not a big thing. What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a drunken sailor? What will you do with a drunken sailor? Early in the morning. I will be singing that tomorrow. Can I get away with turning or will I get punished with a red light? I don't know the rules of driving. I think I could get away with this. Nobody gave me a red light violation, so we can get away with that. That's something I will sing tomorrow. There's a couple karaoke songs I'm going to be singing tomorrow. But that one I always sing. I also will probably put a Frank Sinatra one in, because Sinatra's the GOAT. Change my mind. One of the best singers of our generation. I'm actually kind of mad because, like, I was reading on social media that apparently they voted for what is the world's greatest anime opening. And it's Neon Genesis Evangelion's opening. I don't like that song. I never have. I think it's an okay song for karaoke. I don't think it's the world's greatest anime song. I think Chala Hechala from Dragon Ball Z is the best, greatest anime song of all time. Because when you hear Chala Hechala, you automatically know what anime that's from without ever having watched the anime whatsoever. It's been parodied in other anime series such as Lucky Star. Oh. I almost had a brain fart there and almost turned in the wrong area. That's okay. But Hechala, that's the greatest anime opening of all time. That voting thing, people voting on that for Evangelion, nah. I'm not saying Evangelion's a bad anime, because I have friends... Wrong way violation? Well, we can afford it, we got money. Like, I don't think it's... I think it's a good anime, but I think it teaches the wrong type of values. Uh-oh, we lost that anime fan because I said Neon Genesis Evangelion's anime opening is terrible. It is, it's not a good opening. Some people argue it's the lyrics, it's not. You can like it if you want, but I strongly disagree with the results of it. So that was like kind of interesting too. I think once we get this parked car in, we probably won't have time to take on another one. It's kind of interesting though in that retrospect too. The other thing too is like, the other thing I was reading on social media as well as the internet is that apparently Grand Theft Auto 6, we have the release date and now we have a price for it. Apparently a standard physical edition, I'm gonna use quotation marks for physical edition, is gonna cost gamers $79.99, and it is not a disc in the box. It is a download code. So how do you have a physical edition of a game that does not actually come in the box? Make it make sense. If there's no disc in the box, how's that a physical edition? You're gonna pay $79 for a box? I bet you'll also buy some Swampland if that's the case, and if that's the case, let Dread sell you some Swampland somewhere. Because it'll be the same thing, it'll be the same result too. So it looks like the reason my blinkers were going off before Dread Nights was because my car needed to be serviced. We found out the mystery of that and why it was just non-stop blinking. Our blinkers were broken. We had to actually just repair it. So that's kind of cool to know. You know, so like $79 for standard edition, that's pricey. I won't be getting it because I don't own a PlayStation 5 at the moment. So I have to wait for it to be ported to PC, which they said they're not going to release it on PC at the same time. The other thing that's a big sticking point for is, like, apparently, unless you have the $100 version of Grand Theft Auto 6, which is called the deluxe version of the game, you will not be able to have access to all the shops in the game, certain cars in the game, certain retail areas in the game. So they're basically forcing you to pay for the $100 edition. Apparently there's going to be some type of subscription service, because God forbid a video game in this day and age that you paid retail price for released without having some type of subscription service to it as well. So it's upset a lot of gamers. Dread Knights, it's really pissed off a lot of gamers. A lot of people are questioning whether they're going to buy Grand Theft Auto 6 on launch and stuff. The problem with that is there's going to be a lot of people that say they're not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it because it's not on PC. And then there's going to be, like, people who say they're not going to buy it, and they will buy it, almost certainly, and be like, hey, look, I bought the game. Because it happens with everything. There were people who were outraged with Power World, they bought Power World. There are people that were outraged with Blizzard over the treatment of its employees, particularly female employees. People still then ended up playing World of Warcraft, Diablo 4, etc., etc. You know, so I don't believe when people say they're going to boycott a game, because usually, very rarely, ever do they boycott it. And a lot of things, too, with boycotts that people don't really understand when it comes to, like, video games is, okay, so a couple hundred people don't play this game because it either has, like, AI usage in it, or for another example is, like, oh, because they don't treat their employees a certain way, or because the game's too expensive. So a couple hundred people abandon it and boycott it. But then millions of people, or hundreds of thousands of people, buy the game, and it does, like, sells millions of copies on day one. Now, I'll tell you, the reason you probably shouldn't buy Grand Theft Auto 6 on launch is because it's very expensive. If you buy even the standard edition at $79.99, that is going to tell people in the gaming industry, particularly developers and publishers, that instead of charging $69.99, which is already very expensive for games, that it is okay to charge $79.99 for a video game because people will buy it in this economy. So the best thing you can do is not be part of the problem, but I know that there's going to be people who are going to buy it because there's going to be streamers who want to make content out of Grand Theft Auto 6. There's going to be people who will probably get sponsored and not say that they're sponsored to play Grand Theft Auto 6, and you're going to have people who are diehard loyal fans that were going to buy this. You could have probably charged $100 and they would have done it. Excellent driving there, look at that. So, you know, if you're going to be part of the problem, you know, don't say you're going to boycott it, because it's always how it turns out. People never fall through in boycotts. That's one thing that annoys me on the video game side of things. If there's a short job that we can do here that will only take like an hour, which will take us to, like, stream time, we'll do it. If we can't, like, collect the job here for it, then I will probably play a half-hour of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel to close out stream. Because I don't think that if there's, like, a very big job that takes a long time, 4 hours, we could probably start this. I can't promise that we'll finish it, though. So yeah, you know, people are in an uproar over GTA, but millions of people will buy it anyway. I remember when people wanted to boycott Pokemon for Scarlet and Sapphire because of how the game looked and how unfinished it looked and stuff. I remember when people wanted to boycott Pokemon. We're gonna have to turn around here to get this. Like, I remember the boycotts, and they never do what they say they're gonna do. I don't know if I can try to turn the wheels the other way. I don't know if we're gonna have enough space to move in. Let me think this through how I'm gonna do this. I think we gotta cut it a little bit differently. Don't want to destroy my truck getting this gig. The problem is there's not enough room to turn in there. How am I gonna get this? Like, I gotta drive this way, so... We gotta do like how the forklifts do in Shenmue. Probably most of you don't even get that reference. Shenmue was an old video game. Classic Japanese RPG. I have to do it this way, because it's the only way I'm gonna be able to... Please pardon me, because I'm trying to get this to turn in the right way. No, don't turn. Not what I want you to do. See, it's not that one. I don't think we're going to be able to get this gig unless I can turn the truck enough. Sneak in that way. No, the R way. The R way, the R way, the R way, the R way, the R way. There we go. I gotta turn this way. Damn, this is hard. Just because of how we had to angle it. Turn that a bit. I'm slowly backing into it. Stop. I gotta change the camera angle. And change the camera angle again. Can we launch it there? I turned my whole vehicle off. Does it bad? Gotta move a little bit this way. Because we gotta center it, the trailer will be able to do it. Still not enough. Gotta line those wheels up perfectly. Now if we... No. There we go. Should be able to... There we go. Nice. Alright. Good job, us. See if we finish this. Or get as much of it done as we can. I can't promise we'll finish this on stream. Depends on the time. It's at 7 o'clock, I will be dipping out. Eastern Standard Time. I will probably play more American Truck Simulator at some point. Because I do play this game from time to time. It makes for a good yapping game. And when I want to vent, I use this game to vent quite a bit. Nice music. Feel the music. Feel the beat. Probably should put some lights on. My high beams would be a wise decision so we don't crash into anything. So, you know, people be in an uproar over Grand Theft Auto. Wouldn't them be the next game? Like, I guarantee you there's going to be discourse with Power World coming out. Because Power World 1.0 is going to be dropping pretty soon. And Power World 1.0 is going to change a whole bunch of things. Like, I'm interested in getting back into Power World, but then I found out, like, they've changed so many different things that, like, you have to restart your save file for it to be, like, worth doing. And, like, I've already grinded a lot in Power World. I don't think I have it in me to grind more Power World. And the other thing, too, is, like, obviously there's Pokemon diehards, so now, like, when Power World 1.0 comes out, they're going to be complaining. A lot of mechanics have changed. I might take a look at it. The thing with Power World for me particularly is, like, on my computer, it always runs way too hot. And I'm the type of guy, like, when I'm playing my video games, I don't want my computer to run any hotter than 82 to no more than 87 on the CPU. I don't want it getting hotter than that, because I have my old computer, and my old computer, I used to let it run very hot, and that's what ended up killing it, because if the computer's too hot, inside parts get damaged. So I'm trying not to make the same mistakes with this laptop that I have, because I did it with the first one. I didn't pay attention. I would put my game into overclocking, so I would have it on turbo, and it'd be running at, like, super hot temperatures, which wasn't wise. So now I keep things very cool, because I want my GPU running at very nice temperatures, and I don't want my CPU burning out. Particularly, you know, like, the cooling stuff that they have on it, the thermal paste and stuff. You know, I've learned. It's like in the summer too. Like in the summer, I dumb down the settings on a lot of the games too, so that they can run a bit cooler. Because where I am, it's very, very hot right now. Like I have a fan on because I don't have the AC on, because the AC would make a whole bunch of noise and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's drive. Let's turn. Uh-oh, we didn't take that corner very well, but we didn't ruin the car, and we definitely didn't ruin anything else. Oh, it's gonna take us 6 hours to get to this. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this on stream. I thought it was a 3-hour job. It turned into a 6-hour job. Why did it turn into a 6-hour job? Do we not have the route to go? Now, that's unfortunate. I'm not gonna be able to do the 6 hour drive. We'll do half of it as much as we can until we run till 7 o'clock, and then I would dip out. Right now, 70 miles per hour and speed limit. The thing is that this vehicle is so heavy that I don't think we're realistically going to be able to. Right. The other thing too is like where I am in American Truck Simulator right now is like most of the gigs that I get in terms of the jobs, because I have like my own truck and I'm driving my own stuff now, causes it that you're gonna have super long journeys as opposed to some of the other things. So, you know, it's longer ones. If I did like the ones that aren't my truck, they're usually shorter missions. And the thing is, like, it'll say one time and then it's something completely different. I think this one will probably have to drive into Arizona for it with that time distance, maybe. Alright. Supposed to make the turn here. So we'll do as much of it as we can. Because we're in Vegas right now? Yeah, we're in Vegas, so we'll have to go to California. But I won't have time to finish this particular round. I will give credit to American Truck Simulator. They've done a very good job over the years of redoing certain maps and making it feel like it is. Like, I'll tell you, I don't know how many of you have been to Vegas, but Vegas does look like this. It does feel like this. I've driven through Las Vegas before. I stopped in Las Vegas many times in my life. You know, you could say. So, this is how Vegas looks. Las Vegas, interesting enough, was the host of WrestleMania for the last 2 years. And everybody knows Dredd's a big fan of wrestling. I will say, this year's WrestleMania was not as good as last year's. Can I make this turn without getting in trouble? I'm running for a red light. Looks like we got away with that. We're didn't get punished. Okay, good, good, good. Nice, nice. So, you know, last year's WrestleMania wasn't that good. I think the only good match, really, to me, in my personal opinion, was Roman Reigns versus CM Punk. And everybody kind of saw the result coming a mile away, because Roman Reigns in particular said, like, if I don't win the World Heavyweight Championship, then I'm gone from WWE forever. And for those of you who don't know, in wrestling, whenever a wrestler says that if they're not going to win the match, they'll retire. If they don't win the title, they'll retire. Most of the time, that means that they're going to win the title, especially if they're a younger guy. I use the term young loosely, like Roman Reigns. Like, when there's no title on the line and they say, like, I'm going to put my career on the line against you, and if I can't beat you, I'm retiring, that usually means that they're actually retiring. Case in point, Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, WrestleMania 26. Shawn wanted to be able to get a rematch with The Undertaker from WrestleMania 25 because he felt like he could have beat him and ended the streak. So he became super prideful and stuff. And what ended up happening was, in order to get a rematch the next WrestleMania, because he really truly believed that he was going to be able to beat The Undertaker, he put his whole entire career. That was the only way The Undertaker would face Shawn Michaels once again, because The Undertaker kind of was a little scared that Shawn Michaels might be able to end his streak. His streak, for those of you who don't know, was that he was undefeated at WrestleMania. I think he had, at that time, like 17 victories under his belt, something like that. I don't remember the number. So it was like 17-0 at WrestleMania. So Shawn Michaels agreed to the stipulation, and it turns out that Undertaker beat Shawn Michaels, and that was Shawn Michaels' retirement match. They wanted to retire from wrestling at WrestleMania 26. So usually when a wrestler says that they're going to retire if they can't beat a wrestler, that's when it's a retirement. If it's ever for a title, it's almost guaranteed that the wrestler is going to go over and win the championship. Back in the 90s, they used to not have that rule. It used to be like some wrestlers would pretend that they were going into retirement, and then they would still cause trouble to the good guy wrestler character. It happened a lot in WCW. Ric Flair is a good example of it, where Ric Flair said that if he couldn't beat Hulk Hogan, that he would retire from wrestling. So Ric Flair, in kayfabe basically means for storyline purposes, for people who know wrestling terms, and Hulk Hogan beat Ric Flair. Ric Flair retires in kayfabe. Ric Flair decides that he's going to be the manager of the rest of Four Horsemen and try to do everything possible to make Hulk Hogan's life a miserable thing in WCW. So much so to the point where Hulk Hogan goes to whoever was in charge of WCW at the time, I forgot who it was, and demands that they reinstate Ric Flair into in-ring competition. That's how Ric Flair gets out of retirement. That was like the only time that really, in recent, I used the term recent, but this is years ago in wrestling standards times. But that was like the only time in modern, not even modern, in the last like something X years that's actually happened in wrestling where somebody came out of retirement after that. Ric Flair is notorious for saying he's retiring and never retires, which I think he wanted to come out of retirement one more time, but he's like up there in his 80s at this point and like has so many health problems that no like wrestling promotion in their right state of mind. And I don't mean that to be mean to Ric Flair, because Ric Flair is a legend and did a lot of good things for wrestling. He did a lot of bad things for wrestling too, but you know, he's a legend. He's very good on the mic, one of the best people on the mic back in the day. But like an 80-plus-year-old man should probably not be stepping in a wrestling ring whatsoever. You know, I give John Cena a lot of respect, because John Cena realized that he was not able to perform at the same level that he was originally able to perform in, and as opposed to continuing his wrestling career and making it look bad in the ring, he opted to not continue his career, so that people wouldn't remember him as the guy that couldn't wrestle or the guy that didn't know when to bow out. And you respect things like that. I respect John for that. You know, wish more wrestlers would do that, you know. But not every wrestler does that. AJ Styles too. He retired like at what some people would maybe consider the prime of his career. He still had a lot more to go, and he decided, no, you know what? I don't want to be in a wheelchair or not be able to move or have neck problems or have arm problems, and he backed out. He backed out of it, which, you know, I appreciate that too, you know. Older wrestlers never used to do that. They would keep having matches and matches and matches and matches to the point where they couldn't really go anymore, and then it would look like terrible in the ring, and then you can't believe that this guy could actually wrestle. Or a lot of the times, like, an opponent would have to put somebody over. But it's one of the reasons I don't like last year's WrestleMania was, and this is no disrespect to Randy Orton, but apparently Randy Orton went into the match and then had like a back injury, so he couldn't actually work the match, and he had to like work the match very stiff, and it looked bad. Like Cody versus Randy Orton was probably one of the worst WrestleMania matches I've seen in a while. I've seen a lot of WrestleManias. You know, WrestleMania, the one before that one, was really good. I did enjoy the triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. I think they told a very good story in the ring. I did obviously like John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, because, you know, it's John Cena getting that number 17. From a storyline perspective, it was good. From an actual wrestling match, it wasn't that good. I mean, the involvement of Travis Scott was pretty dumb. Should have probably never happened before. Shouldn't have happened, but, you know, there was TKO got involved with that. For people who don't know, TKO is the parent company. So the parent company now of WWE, because Vince McMahon sold. For people who don't know this, I'll give context. TKO is the people who own the UFC, so they bought WWE, and since they own WWE and the board of directors, one of the people on is The Rock, they get to make the decisions as to what really happens in programming. Triple H is in control of creative, but Ari Emanuel, as well as The Rock and anybody else who's on that board of directors, gets like to have input and say if they want something done, because they're the board of directors. That's what happens. So The Rock kind of interfered a lot with the John Cena storyline, and he wanted to turn John Cena heel. This is something that's shown in a documentary, because he wanted to create shocking TV, and they wanted Travis Scott involved because Travis Scott was big buddies with Ari Emanuel, who again is like one of the biggest shareholders of the company of TKO that now owns WWE. That's also the reason why this last WrestleMania Pat McAfee was, or McAfee, I think is his name. I don't want to butcher it for anybody that's fans of him. I'm not a fan of him. But that's one of the reasons why he was involved in the Cody Rhodes, because they wanted it, not so much. So there's been a lot of meddling by the parent company that owns things, which is my point, and it's made for bad matches. So, like, Travis Scott being in the John Cena match and all that stuff was because The Rock wanted it, and Ari Emanuel, and we all saw how it played out. It didn't make for great television, and then, like, at the end of the whole storyline with John Cena being killed, they had to change so many different things so that we had that whole situation, kind of like how it's that episode of The Simpsons, where, you know, it's like, oh no, Krusty just had the evil switch on! And that's what was going on. Inspect this. Your weight is not perfect state, but be more careful. Be more careful. How about you be more careful, game? I damaged my car. No, because I didn't want to have to drive back. I think I could have driven the other way. That might have been a brain fart there. Tread's not terrible of a driver, but you know, so it's like that. The other thing too is like now you can kind of feel like Triple H, who's the booker, basically a person who creates the storylines for WWE, as well as the people that work under him, the writers, are not like giving it their A game. There's this rumor. I don't know if it's 100% true, because, you know, it's on the internet. People can make up whatever they want about people and stuff, and there's, like, no recourse. But, like, there's a rumor that apparently, like, WWE top executives were using AI to write the scripts. And when you look at some of the storylines that are going on concurrently, for example, Roman Reigns with Jacob Fatu, where they were feuding, because Jacob Fatu wanted the championship and wanted to be the leader, kind of, sort of the bloodline and take Roman Reigns' spot. That whole storyline and the way it ended kind of felt like if an AI, excuse me, I can talk, I promise I can, was like writing it. Because it just felt weird. It doesn't feel like a storyline that has Triple H would have written. It's just like the payoff wasn't very good, you know? And like the rumors, so I could believe some stuff. Like the storylines haven't been very good. Coming out of WrestleMania, nothing's been interesting in terms of WWE programming. And you would figure with all the title changes that they did, there would be more than just, like, focusing on the King of the Ring and, like, LA Knight. I don't know what the hell they were doing with LA Knight at this point. Like, at one point they were pushing him, and at this point he's feuding with the Bloodline, but he didn't win the King of the Ring tournament, so he's probably not going to get a match for a title. It's just, I don't know. None of the storylines make sense right now in WWE. I'm sorry to anybody that's, like, WWE fans, but I need the stories to be engaging and watching. It's like AEW. Like, I like AEW from a athletic standpoint in terms of wrestling, but I don't like some of the other stuff that it's doing concurrently. Just wait on this. Let's wait on this. The triple threat was here again. Hello and goodbye, I guess. Why you keep coming in and out? Do you not want to chat? You don't like wrestling talk? But talk about something else. What do you want to talk about? Like Cody Rhodes says. What do you want to talk about? I don't think we're going to be able to finish this, though. No, we crashed the vehicle. Nobody saw that. Because it's a 3-hour drive. I don't want to really go into overtime here, because it'd probably take like 20 to 30 minutes to finish it. I don't know. Should we do it, Dread Knights? Do you want to see the end of this? Do you want to see me make the delivery? Do you want me to put food on the table for all you Dread Knights? I suppose we could try to. Is there something blocking me from driving right now? Oh, come on, car! If we could drive around. Apparently we caused a car accident. We always have that one run of American Truck Simulator. A bunch of tomfoolery. I was driving in yellow. We're gonna get a red light violation for that. Oh no, I counted. Okay. Okay, good. Let's wait. I want to get any more moving violations and stuff. Boom. I'm gonna take a swig of hydration a minute. Let's try to finish this out. I don't think it'll be that much longer. I want to preserve my vocal cords too, because I'm going to be singing tomorrow, and then my vocal cords will be shot. I don't believe this will be a weekend where I do a weekend stream. Don't think I'm weekend streaming this week. I've been going like 6 days a week for a couple weeks already. I don't think I'm going to be doing that this weekend. So just ahead of time. I know I've done a couple of pop-up ones, but I said that wasn't going to be like a every weekend thing. Keep that in mind. Will we be able to make this delivery without running out of gas? And that's the question. If you see a gas station anywhere, Dread Knights, please let me know. Let me know. Because if not, we might need to call AAA and not the wrestling promotion. Look at that sunset, or sunrise. That's the one thing I do like about American Truck Simulator too, because you get these very cool scenes like that with the mountain and the sun rising as you're just driving in the open road. This is like really good atmosphere driving, in my opinion. Why is it the baby making music again? It looks like there's not that many songs on the Streamer Safe radio, but I wasn't expecting too much. Oh, there is a gas station, but I don't know if we can turn there. I think we're on the highway. Might have to forego that one. Yeah, we're on the highway. We can't get to that gas station. Hopefully, there was one on the exit, but that's like a car dealership. I don't even think there's a gas station there, so we're looking for a green icon if we want gas. Yeah, it's a baby making music. Might as well put on some Barry Manilow. Their song that I think I'm singing tomorrow is "It's Not Unusual to Be Loved by Anyone. It's not unusual to be loved." Anybody familiar with that song? Probably not. I hope we don't run out of gas. We're doing 66 miles on a 75. That's a car turn, see? Dread knows a couple of car turns. There's something cool about this, though, the aesthetic of just, like, having the sunrise in the morning and everything. I did turn off, like, some of the realism things, though, too. Like, I don't want the brake thing, where, like, your driver has to take a break, because I don't, like, enjoy that type of aspect of driving in American Truck Simulator. It's like, I just want to be able to drive around and not have to worry about, like, going to bed at time and taking breaks and all that. Like, I don't want the full trucker experience. I just want to be able to drive the truck around and get to the destination. There are some people that prefer the realism to that part. I just want to drive and be able to see cool stuff like this. Look at that. That's freaking sweet. Once I get done here, I need to practice some Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. I gotta also get some stuff set up for karaoke. Also need to eat dinner. That was kind of helpful too. Look at that sunrise. Look at the beautiful sunrise. Take in the atmosphere. Take in the air. Look at this beautiful sight, Dread Knights. Have you ever seen something perfect? Getting back to nature. When life was simpler. When people were not mean. When people were cool. Just be cool, man. Be nice to everyone always. I told that to somebody a long time ago, and they apparently failed my mission statement. Just to show you can't teach everybody. Drive like we've never driven before. Look at the mountains here. Look at that beauty. Look at that sunrise. Let's try not to crash our car, though. This is why you keep your eyes on the road at all times, Dread Knights. Well, the streamer safe music is nice. It gives you something extra, a nice little nuance. I do appreciate that quality of life change. I do like the UI, too, because, like, you can clearly see how long you're driving in terms of miles per hour, because the thing is, like, the truck display on my screen, you can't really tell on the dashboard. And although we had the GPS that can tell you, it's kind of nice to know. On top of that, it's kind of nice to know how much gas you have left. I'm concerned that we're going to run out of gas before we can finish this. I hope that's not the case. There hasn't been a gas station in a while. I mean, surely we'll find some gas, right? Surely we won't run out of gas before we have to do this. I mean, that would be embarrassing. Streamer runs out of gas on stream, literally, for the drive. Look at this. This is everything I like, too. Look at the scenery. It's just such a vibe when you're driving around the open road. I used to play this game a lot more, like, even in my spare time. I kind of dropped off a bit. Like, at one point, I wanted to get, like, all the DLC maps just to be able to drive around the United States. They're so expensive. Like, they charge $11.99 per map. Sometimes you can pick up them on a bundle on sale, but they only go on sale for, like, Christmas time. And since I don't play a lot of this game anymore, it's, like, it's hard to justify picking up those bundles. Especially since, like, I would probably just want to drive around California. The recent one, I think the recent update, they put out Chicago. Or not, excuse me, not Chicago, Illinois. So you can drive around the state of Illinois now. That one sounds interesting to me. I always wanted a New York one, but they haven't put it out yet. Like, there was a train simulator game that looked kind of interesting, too. But it's kind of the same thing like American Truck Simulator. You have to buy a lot of extra add-ons to be able to, like, have the Metro subway, like the MTA type of thing. And I'm like, ah, no. I'm good. Like, there's also Euro Truck Simulator. I've never played that one. But again, I haven't been to many... I've never been to Europe before, first of all. So, like, I think they drive on a different side of the road, too, so... You know, I don't know how I feel about driving in locations I'm not familiar with. I know some people who did it for the memes, but I'm not really when it comes to, like, content stuff. I'm not a meme type of dude. I don't do it for the memes. This is so pretty. So peaceful, too. Like, I find inner peace driving in this game. That's why I was like, we had to play some American Truck Simulator this week. I needed this just to drive and to yap. Because if I played something like Fortnite, or I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel today, it was just going to be one of those. The sun's rising. 7 a.m. I got to turn my lights off. I don't know if it turns off automatically there. Because if not, you get like a light violation for having your lights on by the cops. Trailer damage 1%. What happened? Nothing touched me behind there. You're running out of fuel. You should find a filling station. Tell me something I don't already know, game. Seems like there's one coming up ahead. We'll take a slight deviation. Hey, that worked out. Happy accident, as long as we were running out of gas before we get to the gas station. Trust, Dread Knights. Trust. Gotta trust the process here. Oh, no. Can we? We're gonna make a turn. We'll get it done. We're almost done. We'll finish up actually probably by 7:10, 7:20. Give or take. And then we'd be good. Thank you, everybody that hung out and kept coming in and out, too. I appreciate it, even if it was just to see what I was doing. Again, like, from now on, I'm probably just going to keep it where if you want to chat, you have to be subscribed. I'm sorry to anybody else. I don't like to do it, but because we've had some bad apples lately, I'm going to keep it on. I'm not going to change that for a while to come. Just because, you know. These aren't gas stations. Maybe it's in front. I hate this area because it always... Don't tell me I'm out of gas already. I will cry. See, the game tricks you and makes you think that this is actually the gas pumps. It's probably not. Oh, no, game. Oh, no, game. Game's trolling me. Alright, let's slow down a minute. I'm gonna have to repair my truck, but I'm not gonna do that on stream. Where's the gas, man? Game trolls you. Here's the gas station. Here's some gas pumps. Oh, I don't know if we can make it through that. I want to believe we can. This is where the tomfoolery in the game happens. Let's see. Oh, game. Use Y to activate it or turn on an automatic... I don't know what you're talking about. Use Y to activate it, or... Is that what they're talking about? And it just locks it to move? Oh... It didn't really help, though. Let's try to brute force it. Because that's the only way I'm going to be able to do... Oh, I learned something. The game actually... The tooltip was actually useful for once. In a video game? Would have thought that. Where's the gas? Look at that. That's like the ultimate troll move there. Well played, game. Well played, game. You just want me to use money on repairs. I will repair my truck after stream. Alright, let's fuel this up and make the delivery, and then we will end for the day. It's not too much longer. Okay, that was not a warning. That was just to tell me that I had paid the money for the gas. Good job, good job. Good job. We could have gone the our way around, but that's fine. Alright. Back on the road again. I can't wait to be on the road again. I can't wait to be on the road again. I am going to bypass this because we are in a rush. Uh-oh. Maybe that was not the wisest play, Dread Knights. We lost so much money on this run. It's okay. It wasn't perfect. Life sometimes is not perfect. Let's drive, Dread Knights. A lot of people nowadays are playing Deltarune. I have been avoiding Deltarune because I don't want to see spoilers. I'm probably not gonna... the last Deltarune chapter I played was chapter 2. I was gonna buy chapter 3 and 4, and I know 5 just came out, but I was like, I'm just gonna wait for Toby to finish the game at this point, and I'll just play all the chapters in one sitting, as opposed to like the slow drip read of it. An hour away from our delivery. We'll be able to do this. I think my truck is 20% damaged if that hub display is correct. Good scenery though. And I think tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's karaoke. There won't be a game stream. Again, no weekend stream for gaming this weekend. I am not available for it. So my schedule, I looked at my personal schedule. I don't have the time for it this weekend. It'll be a break weekend. I said those are only going to be random pop-up ones. Twitch next week, we'll have normal ones because I know we had one less Twitch stream. And I can't after I get done with this stream because what the hell, bro? I live in a noisy city. Time to time, you just have random emergency services just come out of nowhere, and you're like, what the hell? Slow this down. So, I'll be playing some other games, different games next week too. Like, I do want to play Minecraft. That's not, like, that's gonna happen. I'm gonna be playing Minecraft. It's just, I didn't have the time to. I had to, like, do an update on my Switch. And on top of updating the Switch, I had to log into the servers, which would have been a bit of a problem. So I really don't want to have to then worry about that as well. Winslow discovered, so we found a new area. I should slow down so I don't get another speeding ticket. I don't think we'll make back as much money as we had to spend for this truck run too. Kind of unfortunate. And slow down. I don't want to crash into this truck if possible. Ooh, I've never seen a turn like that before. Escape portrait view. Is it the same songs looping, Dread Knights? For those of you who've been paying attention? Yeah, I think it is the same songs. Weird that they would loop. I guess there's not that many that play, but that's fine. There are stations, but they're not marked as streamer safe. So, again, Dread just doesn't want to get hit with a DMCA strike. Because, you know, believe it or not, you know what happened to me? I did the Dragon Ball, Super Dragon Ball Hero stream the other day. And the actual company that owns Dragon Ball rights content striked the video footage of it. So they're like, you cannot monetize off of that. My channel, YouTube channel, is not monetized anyway. Toei, like Bandai hit me with it. So it's like, you hit me with a game that nobody, with a content strike. Now it's not a copyright strike. It's just a content strike. But if I want to monetize it at a later date, I can't. For a game that nobody plays anymore, that's a game from like 2010. You should have been happy that I was actually playing your game that nobody plays anymore, that you constantly are putting on sale for. So I saw that, I'm like, well, we will never play I will never play another Dragon Ball game on stream after that. Because it's like, you're bogus claiming a small content creator and claiming that it wasn't free use, but like, I was commentating, it wasn't like it was straight up gameplay. I was commentating on the thing because I was playing story mode, and I showed aspects of story mode. Allegedly, that's like, it's spoilers for people who are going to play this game. Nobody bought this game in X amount of years. Like, be realistic, it's a super old game, so... You know, Bandai Namco, I've never had, like, a hit before. And I was going to bring it up with them and talk to them about it, but I'm like... I want to make sure I was turning the right way. But then I was like, it's not really worth it on my part to argue it, the claim, and, like, say it's free use, because it's like, it's... You have to get, like, not even so much lawyers involved, but you have to get, like, a YouTube... Gosh darn it. You have to get a YouTube representative involved that can state your case. I gotta do it this way, because unfortunately you can't take the turn the way I wanted to. This was a cursed turn, literally. Give me 1 second. Gotta get into the view that I can. I gotta use the lock again. We did so much damage here. I don't want to miss my exit here, but I might have no choice because it's not letting me drive through here. Oh, game. Move! This damn truck won't let me go through. I don't think we can turn our wheels here. See if we could get road. Oh my goodness. The game is glitching too. Phenomenal work. I'm gonna have to drive around. I can't get through there. Dread just wants to end stream. I'm trying to see if I can maybe make the turn this way. I can't. Oh, jeez Louise. We're gonna miss our exit. I'm gonna have to spend more time on this, which I didn't really want to do right now. So I'm gonna have to drive all the way around to go back to do that. Hopefully that doesn't take us a long time now. This was... We probably shouldn't have taken this job, I gotta be honest with you. Because I can't turn around with this vehicle to do it. 50 minutes? Yeah, no, I'm dreading doing that. We're gonna take a detour somewhere to try to turn it around. If I can. I'm not taking 50 more minutes. 16-minute drive I can deal with. 50 minutes, no way, on the GPS. 60 minutes, not actual 60 minutes, keep that in mind. It's just because we have to drive the road again. See, modern problems require modern solutions, like Creasy used to say. My turn signals not working anymore? Okay, they work. We just gotta drive through here, not miss the turn, and we'll be good to go. See, sometimes you just have to take a different approach. And again, tomorrow will be the world's worst karaoke. We'll be singing some songs. Don't expect a very long stream. Once I finish the song sets, that's it. I'm not going to be doing like encores and stuff. I have a couple songs I'll sing once I get through them. That's it. So I don't want it to hype up people and make them think that this is going to be longer than it's going to be. I'm not going to be doing like a marathon for subs or anything of that nature. I don't do that type of crap. Just a fun little karaoke. Feel the emotion, feel the songs, everything of that. I do like the songs there for the streamer safe radio, but I wish there were more. I guess because after a while, when you're just driving around, you kind of re-loop, and then it's like, well, I heard this one already. Not that many of them. All right. Let's make the delivery. I don't trust myself. Confirm. Well, we still got excellent driving there, despite the fact that we smashed a whole bunch of stuff. Do we get the level up? We do. So we leveled up on stream too. That's an extra benefit. Continue. I'm gonna put a skill point into skill fuel consumption. We're gonna do fuel consumption. So that way I don't have to constantly go to the gas station. Yes. This fuel consumption is kind of important. I don't want to do like super long distance. With that being said, though, that is all the time that I have for today with American Truck Simulator. Thank you for lurking. Thank you for hanging out. VOD watchers, if you watched till the very end, leave like a truck emoji so I know that you watched. I will be back tomorrow here on YouTube instead of Twitch for a change. For the world's worst karaoke. So anyway, thanks for watching. I do greatly appreciate it. Most importantly, I appreciate you. And I'll see you all for next time. Till next time, guys.